This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, the webinar has begun. So we'll give everyone a couple minutes to join, but like I said earlier, this will be recorded, so people that aren't able to join, they can watch this later on to get more insight on people's experiences being a part of SHIP office. So we'll give everyone about a minute, and then I will just call you off by how I see you in my screen to give a brief introduction, share your name, your background with SHIP, what you do if you're a student or working, where you're located, and just really anything else you want to share. Oh, and it looks like Brianne has joined us. So thank you for that. She's our elections expert. So any logistical questions we get, she can definitely help us out. Um, but I will go ahead and kick it off to Juliet if you want to share a little bit about yourself.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Juliet Jimenez. I am the undergraduate representative on the National Board of Directors. A little about me is I graduated this December from Texas A&M University with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and a minor in project management. And I'll be starting in July at Deloitte as a business technology solutions consultant.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Now, Christian, do you want to share a little bit about yourself with us?
Yeah, so my name is Christian Buenrostro. I graduated from Fresno State a long time ago. I'm currently a project engineer for the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation. I'm located in California. And yeah, I've been in SHIP for almost close to 10 years. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And then next on my screen is Natalie.
Hello, my name is Natalie Davila Rendon. Currently, I am the professional director elected for the MBOT. In my history in SHIP is long. Well, I started that. I did my bachelor's in electrical engineering in the Polytechnic University of Puerto Rico, and I was part of the student chapter. Then I did my master's in electrical engineering in New Jersey Institute of Technology in New Jersey. So as part of that student chapter. So I moved to different places and being part of the Puget Sound professional chapter, which is in Washington State. Then I moved to Arizona, so I was also part of the Southern Arizona professional chapter. Then I moved to Orlando, and then I was part of that Central Florida professional chapter. And then right now I just moved to Colorado. You see, it's been a lot of years with SHIP. And currently I'm a systems engineer at Lockheed Martin.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And thank you for joining us, Andrea. We are just sharing brief introductions right now. So you can share your name, your history with SHIP, what you're doing now, whether you're a student or working, and where you're located.
Yeah, sounds good. So hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Rivera. I currently serve as the regional student representative for Region 5. My history with SHIP is I've been part of my SHIP chapter here at Texas A&M since my freshman year. I'm currently in my senior year doing aerospace engineering and minoring in math and astrophysics. And yeah, I really love SHIP, and hopefully, it's going to be here for a good time and a long time. So excited to be here.
Amazing. Thank you everyone for sharing a little bit about themselves. And everyone that's attending, we cannot see you because it's a webinar, but feel free to drop any questions in the chat that you have for our panelists. But to start off, I have a few questions for you all. So we will go in the same order that we just did. But my first question is, why did you decide to run for SHIP? What came to your mind that you're like, I'm going to run for SHIP, I want to be part of this? So if Juliet, you want to start us off?
Okay, so why did I decide to run for the NBOD? I actually heard about the National Board of Directors, like I knew it existed, but I didn't know that you could apply for it as an undergraduate student until last year, I believe like almost 10 days before the deadline. And I was previously the treasurer at A&M that year. And I wanted to figure out how to get more involved at the national level and figure out how to be able to impact more students as well. So I wanted to take on the challenge, and I decided to apply and see what happens. And I ended up getting elected. And now I've got to meet so many of you guys, and I'm so excited to have served on the board.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Now, Christian, why did you decide to run?
Well, I decided to run because I mean I've been involved in leadership for a while. So, and I thought, you know, taking over the region would be a challenge, and there was a lot of and there's still a lot of challenges that we gotta, you know, conquer and of course win and make sure that I want to leave, and I want to leave something in the region. I want to leave something that they can take advantage of and open the doors to any future leaders and support any member within the region. And I want to be that person. I want to be that bridge. I want to be that person behind them, pushing them to be better every day. And that's the whole reason why I ran for regional vice president.
Awesome. And then next is Natalie.
So for me, I remember that I was in, I think it was Orlando, the national convention. And I recall that they said that they were gonna open some positions for the MBOT for people to run. So I was always keeping an eye, when is this happening? When is this happening? So I could actually run. And I think the reason why is because I've been part of so many chapters and I already have so many different positions. So I've been president, treasurer, vice president, historian. It's like I'm running out of the different roles. So this was something that it was different, was very exciting, and it's an opportunity that SHPE provides their members, that to be part of a national board of directors is something that maybe people don't get to experience ever in their lives, or don't get, and it's not that easy to get into. So I wanted to have that experience, and at the same time grow myself and help people. And what is the best way to do it than for being part of the board?
That is true. You get all the experiences being a part of the board. Next up, Andrea.
Yeah, for me, I had a very similar experience with kind of getting inspired by the convention. I first found out about like the regional team positions at a convention. I think it was 2 years ago. And this past year, I served as the vice regional student representative. So I got to kind of see the impact of connections, of making connections in my region and kind of working with chapters one-on-one. And then after seeing that and kind of just going off of like the environment of convention, it was just really awesome being able to connect with people from different chapters and being able to, you know, have friends and all in different states, but all under SHPE's mission and vision. So I think that's what inspired me to run. And honestly, it's just really being a regional student representative is just embodying what SHPE believes in. And you know, SHPE has given me so much, and I really just wanted to be able to help other chapters, to help build up other chapters, you know, provide them with resources, provide them with help to be able to help their chapters also be strong, so they can also experience the many things that my Texas A&M chapter has given me here in my 4 years. And it's really been amazing being able to impact those chapters and kind of seeing that growth. So if you want to get back to SHPE, I definitely recommend, you know, taking that step in the regional level, in the national level, and really stepping up.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Andrea. And I feel like you all shared, you know, you're helping other people because you want to give back, but it's also a mutually beneficial opportunity because you're also gaining more skills. You know, you get to network and connect with so many people. So that's awesome. It's just all around helping out. So I think that's amazing. My next question is, what has been the most rewarding part of being a part of SHPE office? You want to start us off, Juliet?
Okay, this one's hard because I think there's so many rewarding parts, but I would have to say that my favorite one is being able to impact like the students, like walking around like national convention and having someone like approach you and talk to you and be like, hey, do you have like any tips? And I think that one-on-one interaction is like no other, because I think I had the same interaction when I was a freshman, first going to convention, being super scared, and me being able to give back and like help someone like on the last minute, like, what's your elevator pitch, or this is how you do it, or this is like the type of question you should do. It's a feeling like no other. And then also being able to do that at NELA and at SHPE Live and so many other events, it's like an amazing feeling that I think I would do it all over again just to do it again.
Amazing to hear. What about you, Christian?
Yeah, well, I think it has different so many stories, but I think one of the first ones that I really liked, you know, and I received a lot of feedback, and a lot of people came to me crying, saying, "Hey, Christian, I got a job. Thank you so much." Is when I was able to, you know, over the summer, I had to, you know, I put my head and I worked hard to be able to raise funds to bring. Actually, I brought 12 members from a region to national convention, and I pay for the membership, I mean, for the registration. We pay also for their we give them money for the trip, and then most of them were able to come to me and be like, "Hey, Christian, I'm very thankful. I was able to get my dream job at Boeing, at Lockheed Martin, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to come over here." So I think those moments are the ones that they tell you, they open the eyes to you and tell you how much people we're helping, you know, like just stuff like that. And also, you know, being able to talk to different members. All of the members, you know, they come from different backgrounds, they have different stories. And through talking to a lot of members, I actually was able to meet the first RSR when the ARC positions were created. The RSR for Region 1, I was able to meet him, and it was like, what, like 34 years ago, and he's still around with SHPE, and I met him, I talked to him, and it was really cool to talk to the person. So I think that type of interaction with members, especially in the ARC positions, it gives you a lot of opportunity to know more about your region and know more about who you're helping and who was behind.
That's so nice to hear. I feel like even if you feel like you're just doing a small thing for someone, it makes like an impact on their whole life. So that's amazing. Natalie, do you want to share?
Yes, I think other than meeting the members, board members, C-suite, I think one moment was that we were in the convention in Charlotte, you know, and you see so many people, so many professionals, so many students getting ready to go to the career fair, and it's like an ocean. And you see, oh, like there is this many Hispanic engineers. This is the future, right? And there is some hope out there.
Thank you. And then Andrea, do you want to share?
Yeah, I think besides the personal connections that we get to make, and you know, whether that be like students sending me their resumes to check, or me going to like different chapter meetings and kind of telling them about like elevator pitches or interview stuff. I think another way that I see the regional position is kind of being kind of a link between national and the chapter members. So a big part of that has been creating like a family, like a familia, and a community feeling. So especially with new members that just joined SHPE in their chapters, it's kind of telling them like, hey, there's SHPE way beyond just the chapter level. Like SHPE can be a whole, it can really like impact your professional life in a beautiful way. And, you know, you're going to stick around with SHPE hopefully throughout your career, and you're going to get to be part of that giving back. So yeah, it's been amazing meeting them meeting so many students one-on-one and at convention, at these regional meetings, but also just kind of telling them how, you know, SHPE is going to impact their life, and telling them, kind of helping them see the beyond just now. And has been a big part of what I do.
Yes, we are changing lives. Thank you so much, Mateo, for joining. So if you don't mind, just sharing a brief introduction about yourself, your name, what you do, and your SHPE background.
Yeah, so nice to be here with you all tonight. I'm sorry for joining a little bit late. I just got out of class. But yeah, my name is Mateo Sanchez Gonzalez. I'm currently the undergraduate student representative on the national board, along with my colleague Juliet. And so I really got involved with SHPE at the local chapter level during my sophomore year of undergraduate studies. And I've previously served as the president of my chapter and also the New England sub-regional student representative on the Region 4 leadership team. My family's from Mexico, but my immediate family lives in Boston. I'm currently in Washington, D.C., finishing up my undergraduate degree at George Washington University. So I'm a fourth year undergraduate student studying biomedical engineering. And yeah, so happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. Now, are you ready for a question?
Yeah.
What has been the most rewarding part of being a part of SHPE office?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I would say that it's really just been having the opportunity to work on teams under the guidance of different leaders with like different leadership frameworks, really getting to see sort of some of the principles that different leaders use to guide the strategic mission and also to sort of operationalize those initiatives. And I think it was really exciting for me to, so I had the opportunity to take this engineering for social innovation course during my studies. And so really getting to sort of implement some of those human-centered design strategies into like decisions that the board makes has been really rewarding as well.
Awesome. Yes, and for those that are on here, just so, in case you didn't know, like if you're an undergrad student, you can be a part of the board. And it's super critical because, you know, we need everyone's voice in like all decisions and strategies. Okay, the next question is, what advice do you have for someone that wants to run? If you want to start, Juliet.
Okay, so advice that I have would be to first like reach out to other board members to see if like your skill sets match like the position and if that's something that you really want to look for, or also do the same thing depending if you're like in between like RSR or the national board. They're very different positions, but they both have like very equal value and like impact differently as well. So I think that's my first advice. And second advice, don't be afraid to run. The worst that's going to happen is you don't get it, but at least you put yourself out there and you get to try it. So yeah, that's my advice.
Thank you. Very true. Christian, do you want to share?
I think I echo what Juliet said, you know, don't be afraid, ask questions, and especially whoever's interested in running for a regional vice president position. It's a 2-year commitment, you know, you signing your life to SHPE for 2 years. So you gotta know exactly what you're getting into before signing up. But it's a position that, you know, not a lot of people gets to hold those, and you do a lot of work for the people, and it's all for a reward of them getting those jobs, or you know, being the next CEOs of the next companies. That's what we're doing it for. And you know, it's also a great networking opportunity to meet other members. If it wasn't for me running for RVP, I wouldn't meet some of my friends from other regions. I met Natalie at Convention Orlando, so and it was great to see her in Charlotte. So it's great to you know, to take those chances and see where it's going to take you.
Yes, that is very true. I feel like many people see this as a professional opportunity, but I feel like there's so much potential just to gain like, you know, personal friends and just people you can reach out to for anything really. Natalie, do you have any advice?
Yes, I think for me in the professional side, I think one of the things that you gotta be or make sure that you are available. Because I know like we are always working so many hours, and you have to make sure that maybe you talk to your boss and you can travel or you can make the meetings. Some of the meetings are in Zoom, others are in person. So I think for me, just making sure that you are available to talk to people, available to have some meetings, and not just go to the meeting, for example, to NELA, and just run away, right? Stay for the experience, get to know people at the event. And I think you're gonna get more from the experience.
Thank you. Andrea, do you want to share?
Yeah, I have a couple tips.
Is she frozen for
Yeah,
everyone else?
she's also
Yeah, I
frozen.
think so.
I thought it was me.
Okay, sorry, I think I cut off, but I'm back. Okay, so the first tip I would have is get familiar with the position. So yes, while it's an amazing and rewarding position, as in many positions, you have to make sure you become informed on what the next year would look like. It is a 1-year position, so that means I would recommend it if you have had previous experience with SHPE as a leader in your chapter, because you're going to be helping out other chapters in different stages. Some chapters are reviving, some chapters are new, some chapters are small chapters, medium chapters, large chapters. So you're really going to be working with chapters that are in different phases across the board, and you're going to be able to have to know the different parts of SHPE, whether that be helping them financially, helping them with academic development, helping them in their professional aspect. You truly have to know what you're talking about to be able to help them. So become, even if you don't have a chapter position in your chapter, then there's plenty of resources online to get involved that are available to the chapters themselves. So you can start getting familiar with them early on. But then something else you can do is, in really any other position that you have, is reach out to someone that has been there and done that. So whether that be reaching out to, if you're interested in RSR, reach out to the RSR for your region, reach out to the NBOD members that are here. If you're interested in NBOD, just reach out to people that have done that, and, ask them if maybe you can shadow their positions. Ask them, what a day and what a week in their life in the position would be like, but truly become familiar with what you would be expecting if you were to be elected. And then another part of that is make sure you can put in the hours and be reliable for your chapters. It's very rewarding, but it is a time commitment, and there's a lot of chapters in each region, and you truly do want to, be giving them your all and be available. For me, that means being available a text away. Sometimes chapters just have a quick question, and I text them back, within the hour. So it can be like that, but it can also be like, hey, do you want to come speak about what Region 5 is and what SHPE is at a regional and national level to our chapter this next week? And it's really being able to be available and spread SHPE's mission. And then another one is become involved. So depending on what your position is, especially, so for mine, I'll speak for a regional student representative. It's you represent the students, right? So you have to really, really understand what students are thinking about, whether that be their feedback on national convention, whether that be making sure that, they have resources about, for example, the leadership live that happened this past week is really just making sure that you are a voice for your students and that you can speak on behalf of your students, because that's what the position is, like, you're representing them. So yeah, whatever it is, while it is a great position, put yourself out there. Just make sure that with any other thing that you do, that you know what you're putting yourself into and that you can be a dependable and reliable person.
That was very insightful. Thank you so much for sharing all that. I especially liked how you shared, like you just really need to be prepared for anything, whether it's helping out a smaller chapter or helping out, a professional group. You just have to be ready for anything. So thank you for that. And then Mateo, do you have any advice?
For someone who wants to run,
Yeah.
I would say there are some regulations with sort of campaigning for yourself, but I think it's also important to sort of even just reach out to your own network, like members in your chapter, in other chapters in your sub-region, or even in your region at large, and maybe just try to understand some of the pain points and some of the areas that chapters or members feel like they need additional support, or they need additional resources, so that you can really use that as sort of a platform to I guess sell yourself during the election about things you want to focus on during your tenure, but but also genuinely sort of establish those connections so that when you are in that, or strengthen them rather, so that when you are in that position, you can sort of immediately hit the ground running and already have some idea of areas you want to address.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like everyone on here has said to reach out. So I really hope people take advantage of that. And you guys are very accessible and easy to talk to. So it's an easy and good resource. The next question is, what have you gained from being a ship leader, whether it's professionally, personally, or both? Juliet?
I would have to say what I gained as a ship leader, is I think I became more of an extrovert. Because I think coming from COVID, like going to like a big conference again, I went to the Orlando one last year, and then the one this year was, I want to say double or maybe even triple the size because there's just so many people, and just like being okay with like responding fast and just like also like being able to like realizing that it's like, oh, like people are asking me important questions also, because I think I just transitioned from like, oh, I'm a student to like, no, I can give them actual like meaningful advice also. It was just a big like awakening moment. I know that's not very insightful, but that's what I think I've gained over like the course of the year.
No, that's super helpful, and it's true. Christian, what do you have to share?
I think I earned a lot of gray hairs. No, just kidding. No, but what I learned is, I learned a lot about leadership, special leadership, leading big groups. So my region has 8 professional chapters and 18 student chapters, and being able, staying liquid to be able to answer all the questions that they're gonna be sending your way, calling you, requesting, hey, can you come to my events, and all that stuff. I think I learned how to manage my schedule better, and that's one of the greatest things. But I was able to make again great friendships. So all over ship, my ship family increased from just being here local in California now to other states. That's another thing. And also, when I was a student, I always thought, oh, I want to be like that person, like like my mentor. But I didn't realize until we started talking and saying, what are the benefits, or what's the best moment about being a ship leader. But it's also I started realizing that I'm that person now. Like I'm mentoring so many people without me knowing, and I just got excited about that. It's just being that person that they look up to for answers or advice or anything. I think that's the best feeling I can have at the moment, by helping the family.
Awesome. Natalie?
I'm gonna second Christian, mostly about the people that I have met through SHPE. And the other thing I think in this new position is being to learn all the things, how the organization works, what is behind the scenes. And I think that's very important, and that something that I can leverage in the future. Let's say if I'm thinking of a company, to understand more what is the strategy and how that gets formed. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Andrea?
Yeah, for me, I would say it's really just heartwarming. It's a very heartwarming position, I would say. So like being able to help build communities in new chapters or current chapters, when they say like they didn't have a home away from home until they found SHPE, and helping make their chapter better has been, it's just very rewarding. But then a lot of other things are like, you learn time management, you learn how to like problem solve in kind of management settings, because like I said, a lot of different chapters are in different are all in different like kind of timelines and positions, and focus on different things that they want to give back to their members. So it's kind of learning quick on your feet in a way, and also tending to a bunch of different leadership styles. It's pretty cool seeing. And yeah, the connections that you make are pretty cool. Like you'll have friends from different states, different chapters, and you can, I think I've even met strangers, and we can bond over being in SHPE. I'm like, by any chance, are you in SHPE? And we can bond over that. And it's just really, really cool and heartwarming.
That's super cool. I think that's what makes being a SHPE leader unique. You get to connect with people on a way larger scale than other members. Mateo?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I think everything that my colleague said is right on the dot. But I think for me personally, the experience has really given me like the confidence to really push what I thought I personally was capable of doing. It's really helped me understand like how you, even as an individual, can utilize different frameworks and your own network to leverage various resources, whether it's from the private sector or the public sector, to then implement like new innovative initiatives that really add value to the communities that we hold so near and dear to our heart. And I think through that, I feel like I've been able to, inspire students at my own chapter to really sort of step outside their comfort zone and really believe that they can contribute to SHPE beyond just the university, but also at the regional and national level, and that they can be agents of change, and their voices really do matter as we continue to grow and thrive as an organization.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, we have the last question. And for anyone on the call, feel free to ask anything in the chat if you have any questions that aren't being answered. So the last question is, what is something you wish you would have done when running? So looking back when you're running, is there anything you regret or wish you would have done differently?
I think what I regret, would be the aspect of how to reach out. I was kind of confused on the way of what you can do with certain guidelines of like reaching out to other people. But besides that, I think I wouldn't have done anything else differently.
Thank you. And then Christian?
I think pay attention to your emails. Brianne will send you an email asking you for a recording of why you want to run for the position. I missed the deadline, so I didn't make it. But other than that, make sure that you pay attention to any information that's coming to you, and be able to provide everything that they require for if you're running for any position. So the members that are actually electing you in those roles have all the tools or all the information that they can gather why you want to run for RSR, RGR, RVP. Why are you the person that you should be taking the leads on the organization, and also talk to chapters, tell them why you want to run, what are your visions, and what are the needs of what are the needs of the chapters, and how you can improve the region, and what can you bring to the region, because again, everyone has a different leadership role, and you might be different than your predecessor, and that's why you want to make the change, be the agent of change.
Yep, that is true. Thank you, Christian. And yes, don't miss the deadline. The deadline is March 15th, so you all have like about a week to turn everything in. That's when the nomination package is due. I just sent the link in the chat where you can get all the details. All right, next is Natalie.
I think for me was to reach earlier to my network, because the deadline was approaching, but I didn't disseminate to everyone that I knew from SHPE, oh, I'm running. So I think that's one of the important things to do. So everybody knows that you're interested in the position and that you're running for it too.
Yes, that's a big part. Create a plan for yourself. Okay, Andrea.
Yeah, for me, I would say like your campaign video, make sure that you state your plan clearly. And I would like ask around different chapters, different like students, kind of what you want to see, what they want to see represented, and kind of gear your campaign video towards that. I feel like I kind of missed my mark in my campaign video, and I said my experience, I said a little bit about it, but it wasn't completely a plan. And then another thing I really want to reiterate is, before you apply, is really dig deep and find out like why do you want to run for regional, why do you want to run for national. It's a very important position to represent the many chapters in a region, and it's not for like I said, you have to invest time, you have to invest passion, love. You truly have to be like loving SHPE's mission and like wanting to spread.
She froze again. We'll give her a second.
Okay, am I back?
Yes, you are back.
Okay, good. So yeah, just really make sure like why am I applying for this? It shouldn't just be to fill in your resume. It really should be because you want to impact lives and you want to help others. I really just want to reiterate that because I want to make sure that all the regions are in good hands, and that everyone loves SHPE, as much as it deserves and as much as we do.
Yes, that is very true. Everything you said. You need to make sure you are going to commit to this, and do everything because you want to, not just to put it in your resume, because that's not what it's about. Okay, Mateo.
Yeah, I think I just want to reiterate one thing that was said earlier in the meeting, and it was really just about sort of believing in yourself and really never counting yourself out of an opportunity. I think that's one of the things that just I learned in doing this whole thing and sort of going through the election process. I think sort of like Natalie, I was hesitant to like reach out to my network. I was really on the fence about, am I really the right person for this position? Like, can I really, it's daunting to, especially on the board, like you're representing, the voice of thousands of students. You're one person, you don't encompass all those identities, but I think if you're on this meeting right now and you have an itch to learn more about the process and get more involved, it's for a reason. And if you feel called to serve, you should take the leap of faith and really step up. Because basically, I think what I did was basically within 24 hours, sort of made the decision, and got all the signatures, got my nomination packet ready, and it was like down to the wire because I was like on the East Coast, and it was due like West Coast time. So it was like, 2:30 a.m. just getting all the documents ready and everything. But truly, I think it's easy to have like some sort of imposter syndrome, when you're leading so many people and you're sort of a role model for so many different students across the nation. But I think, the community is very welcoming, very supportive, and they really will teach you and train you with the skills you need to be successful in this position and make the most of it. So I really encourage you all on this meeting to, take the leap of faith and like Andrea said, really find your why and let it fuel you. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And Andrea has her hand up. Do you want to
Yeah.
share?
Another thing I want to point out is kind of just tap into where your leadership style is right now. So I guess just knowing that being these positions, regional or national, is going to require you really putting yourself out there as not like the face of something, but kind of as like the point of contact for people. So it really means talking to a lot of different people. It means, being present. And for me, I used to be extremely shy my freshman year. I would never have imagined like standing up in front of a room, right? So maybe at that point I wouldn't have been ready to be in like a regional position as I am now. But obviously, challenge yourself, put yourself out there. Maybe if you feel like you're not ready to, I'm thinking nationals, right? Present to a room of hundreds of people in your region and you don't think you're ready. That's a big step up, right? So you might think think about running for your chapter instead, and then the next year running for nationals. But definitely push yourself, but also remember kind of the commitment that this position is going to be. You're going to be in a point of contact. You're going to be like in the spotlight. Yeah, just want to put that out there.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think it's super important to know, like, this is an opportunity to keep moving up. You know, if you've been a leader before, you know, maybe this is the next step for you. So we have not gotten any questions from anyone. So I'm assuming everyone is ready to run and they are gonna do it before the deadline. But I just want to thank all our panelists for being here. And I just want to remind everyone that the deadline is March 15th to run. So share with your network or anyone you think that would be a great fit. But I also want to give you all a chance to share anything that you felt like you weren't able to share with the questions, or just anything that you wanted to expand on. And if not, that is okay. Okay, then we are good. Was there anything that you wanted to share, Brian?
No, just to reiterate what all our wonderful leaders mentioned, the sooner the better. You can submit it, then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to stress about it. If your internet goes out, if your brother or sister's, playing YouTube or streaming something in the background, like I said, you don't need that stress on yourself. So like I said, the sooner the better. We do ask again to have additional submissions. So even though you need 5 sponsors, go ahead and get 6 and 7 just in case. Some people think they're members and didn't remember they forgot to renew. So always have that backup. And then similarly, again, so many of you all shared your personal why and what motivated you. And like I said, rather than just saying like, this is my plan for the position, really just sharing your personal story and how this is an opportunity for growth and you're grateful for the familia, right? To allow you to serve them. I think, so many of this opportunity is learning how to learn. And, the SHPE familia is an amazing place to be a safety net and to learn how to support and lead remote teams. And so again, I'll also echo what Giovanna's mentioning, right? Of just thank you all so much for showing up and showing out and being such exemplary leaders. We're very grateful. And honestly, this is what the SHPE familia is about. So again, you are worthy. You are more than capable, as everyone had mentioned, so we look forward to, like I said, having the next round and again, having friendly family competition. So I appreciate you all so much.
Thank you, Brian. And Mateo, what would you like to share?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to close out with saying, please feel free to reach out. We're all super happy to schedule like an informational interview or something and really maybe help ease some of your, I guess, uncertainties about, what this position could entail. But we're all super open and willing to, meet with you all and provide that information.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Andrea?
Yeah, if anyone needs any like point of contacts for the other regional student representatives for the region that you're in, feel free to also reach out to me, or I'm sure if you go to the social media for your region, they'll have it there. But definitely that's kind of like the first place to start if you want to build a plan, is communicating with them. Hey, what have you seen that, would be good for this upcoming year to focus on, but also, get creative with it. Like first ask them and then you kind of figure out how you can make it your own. But yeah, definitely ask someone first that has been there and done that.
Yep, that is very true. In the chat, I just shared the regions, and in that you can see everyone's positions and their contact info. So there's no excuse. But it looks like we are set then. And thank you all so much again. And don't forget the deadline of March 15th. But yeah, thank you all, and you all have a good night.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.